Hey, everybody. It's Friday. It is time for This Week in WordPress. I am BJ, and this is where you will get all of the news, tutorials, and resources that were published this week in WordPress. So if you have anything that you want to share in the comments that you've been working on this week in WordPress, any questions or anything at all, feel free to throw them in the comments, and let's get started. All right. So hopefully everybody's having a really good Friday so far. We're really hoping that this will make your Friday go just a little bit faster. I've seen in the YouTube comments already that it's the British summer now that y'all have moved into daylight. We call it daylight savings time. So you've moved an hour forward now. So that's fantastic because we've had a couple of weeks where people were getting very confused on what time all of our shows were being launched. So it's very, very neat. Um, uh, Karthik, I think, says in YouTube that it's 12:35 a.m. there. Holy moly, it's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me. So it's Good Fridays, on Good Friday. So that's awesome. Like I said, I hope everybody's had a good week, and so we might as well dig in. The news this week was actually kind of interesting. I was looking around and I actually saw that they have a release candidate for WordPress 4.9.5, that they're looking at the next major update, that it's going to be a security update. It's going to be a normal everyday routine update. And it is the first thing in the description of your video. I have the release candidate notes for 4.9.5 in the description below. So go check that out and read what all it is. But one of the main things I wanted to talk about in terms of the news with this, I mean, we're all going to update to 0.5 and we're going to be fine with it. It generally doesn't break anything with security updates like that. But what was interesting is that initially they had planned to include Gutenberg in this release. Not now before you react the way I probably would have myself, not as a default editor like they're planning in 5.0, but they were putting in a warning, basically an opt-in, more like it, so that when people logged in, they would see that there was a new editor coming, and they had the option to either install it, go through the process of activating it, or just giving them a button that says "Try now" to go right into using it. Now, they did decide later not to include it in 4.9.5, but they're including it in 0.6. So the second article is from WP Tavern. If you look under the news, the WP Tavern article has the 4.9.5 that you're going to be 2 clicks away from using Gutenberg, like Matt said in a couple of weeks ago when he was talking to Matt Cromwell. Matt Mullenweg said to Matt Cromwell, excuse me. But even though that article isn't quite accurate anymore because they changed the timing of when they were putting out that opt-in, I wanted to leave it in here so that you could see the thought processes behind it. I want you to know that it's still coming up. I mean, it's still going to be there in a few weeks or a month. And I wanted you to be able to see the comments and get involved in the conversation if anything like that. So it's so yeah, it's something that we're all gonna have to keep in mind, and just kind of work with it that way, and get used to Gutenberg coming in. So I also wanted to say to everybody, if you're new to the show, there are some names in the comments I haven't seen before. So I wanted to let you know that I try to have a very open conversation in the comments with people, and try to get it so that we talk, and I try to manage the comments and look and read them as I'm going through. So feel free to throw any kind of comments or questions that you've got in there, and I'll be reading them. I see that Colombian Hosting has questioned if I'm using my phone to record, and no, I'm not. I am using the same camera that I always do. There was an issue with my software this morning when I was getting on that the camera got reset on it. So I've been working for the last little bit on trying to get the settings to look somewhat decent. But I know it looks a little bit different, but I'm trying to get it. It's the exact same setup. It's just the software is going to have to be tweaked a little bit. That I couldn't quite get it where it was last time. But no, not my phone. I promise. But I see a couple of things in the comments I wanted to respond to here that, it's British summer, which means it's raining all day. I'm so sorry, Mike. And Facebook said that's the worst part of summer here in Alabama. And I know that in Britain it gets even worse than this. So that y'all get a little soggier than we do. It's not fun, but summer thunderstorms are not any fun for me. I do not like it. I see one, man, I cannot talk today, you guys. I looked at the microphone instead of the camera. I don't know why. I see a comment in YouTube that says, "How do we compare to Elementor, new to WordPress and not building sites?" That's a really good question. It actually comes up quite a bit, and I know that people in the comments are going to have quite a bit to say at it as well. I do want to say, I mean, and a lot of you who have watched for a long time know this about me already, but I chose Divi over Elementor and Visual Composer when I first started out freelancing. That I discovered Divi and it just fit with my workflow better. I still go back and I use for different things. I use Elementor and Astra. I use Beaver Builder. I use Gutenberg for some reason. I'm writing it. I got to get used to and know about this stuff. And so I wanted to, so when you say, how does it compare to Elementor? For me personally, I think that Divi is a much smoother experience, that it's just a slicker overall, quicker builder. I think it's more intuitive. And in the end, what it was when I'd started using Visual Composer, that was the one. I think it's WP Bakery Page Builder now, something along those lines. And I'd used it for months and months. It was what was recommended to me, and it was fine. And I tried Elementor, and then I tried Divi, and Divi just blew me away in terms of just usability and what I could do with it. It's something that I know I always feel weird whenever I say it just felt a little more elegant because it's so on the nose, being elegant themes and all, but it really did just kind of give a better user experience for me. If you're not used to page builders and things like that, Elementor is a good place to start. I think that it will let you know whether or not you want to use a page builder. But I like Divi better because I really do think it runs more smoothly. I was actually playing with the Elementor 2 stuff, I guess, last week, and it's good, but it's one of those where I just like Divi better. But we all do our things that we do well. So in the end, it depends on what you're going to be using it for. So in terms of page building, I like us because we have all of the page templates built in, which makes page building much more quickly if you look in the Divi library. That makes me love Divi more than even if I didn't work here. Like, I would be using those because they're so useful for me. So I hope that helps a little bit. Hopefully somebody in the comments can also expand a little bit on why they chose Divi as well. And I also think it's awesome that you purchased both. Let me say this before I move on into something else. I never want to I think that's fantastic because every tool has a place, and I know that there are people who make their livings with Divi who have customers and clients who use other builders, and you need to know about them. You need to be able to jump in and do that based on what somebody else wants. One of my clients wanted an X theme site that I didn't know about and had been using Visual Composer and Divi at the time, so I just had to dig in and learn, and it was more of a learning curve. So I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with having both of them. I think it's great to be able to do that. Actually, it just makes you better experienced and more well-rounded for you, so that you can sell that experience to clients. Grant in Facebook says that he uses Divi for everything now, that it's a smoother method for updating and creating new sites. That's where I fall in it, that I was used to the other ones, and then when I found Divi, it just went more smoothly for all of it. So that's my my both sales pitch and completely candid answer on, yeah, we use all of it. You need to know stuff. So yeah. I wanted to also include in the news on this one. So moving forward a little bit in it, talking about I put these next two in news rather than resources, because they don't really fit in anywhere. It's not so much a resource that you can go back to and use, as it is just something interesting to read and think about. They're almost think pieces, and well, you'll see. And the one that I really liked was called From Humble Beginnings: The Rise of WordPress and Internet Dominance. And I thought this one was really, really neat, because we've recently hit the 30% mark of how much we control on the internet. And I say that in kind of a tongue-in-cheek way, that we do, that the WordPress ecosystem has really taken off. And this one really, I really like this article, because it goes through the history of WordPress that you may not know about, how Matt Mullenweg came up with the idea and how he forked off of another open source software that hadn't been updated in a while and had been abandoned. And it's really, really interesting to look at what blogging was in 1999 to 2003 versus where we are today with WordPress being a full CMS. And it ends in WordPress 3.0, actually, because that was one of the major real turning points for WordPress that let it become a full content management system instead of just blogging software, because you could use custom post types and custom fields then. And it really opened up what people could build with WordPress. And I didn't even know about that at the time. I had been using WordPress for 6 to 8 months, I think, at that point, maybe a year. And I came in at 2.7 was my very first WordPress. And so when 3.0 came out, looking at this, I wasn't involved enough in the development cycle and knowing the software at all to be able to know what a groundbreaking update that was. But because I was using it as blogging software, I still use it as blogging software. And but I think it's neat that it's something that we can look at 3.0 being a major turning point, just like 5.0 is. 5.0 is coming up, and whether we want Gutenberg there or not, wherever you fall on that, it's going to change things, and we're all going to have to adapt, and that's kind of the way 3.0 was. It opened up a lot of doors, just like Gutenberg's going to. I see in the comments that Matt says, use Divi Builder first, and when I need to use Elementor or VC, I'm always spending time trying to make them do what Divi Builder can do. And that's something that I've found that's part of me too. But I also I just like playing with things. I mean, to be completely honest, the reason I'm using Gutenberg right now is because I like playing with things and learning how they work and just seeing what I can do. My podcast partner that I do for fun loves that about gaming systems. Like he plays video games to learn the systems, and the more in-depth they are, the more fun he has. It's kind of like me in software. It's like I just want to poke around and dig into it and see what I can do. So that's kind of why the way I feel about that. Uncle Social in Facebook, or not Facebook, you're not on Facebook with this one, it's YouTube, says that WordPress still needs a little kick to be a more natural CMS, that custom post types do with being more intuitive, that not being post types too. Yes, that's something that I think really confuses people. I know that I have one client who has custom post types. Their entire site is built out of custom post types, but they don't know what it is. Whenever I've mentioned anything about that, they think that I'm talking about blogging, so it's absolutely true. So hi Tejas, and use Divi for all the sites that you build from Facebook. I'm happy to hear that now. Sorry about saying so much. I'm trying to get out of that. I'm working on it. The last thing that I put in the news section for this is 10 totally legitimate reasons why you should never use WordPress. Now, this is a tongue-in-cheek one before you go in and being like, ooh, because that was my reaction. I'm like, really? Code NWP is telling us not to use WordPress? What's up? And I get in, and it's really one of those tongue-in-cheek satire articles, but the first one made me want to share this because they say it will immediately elevate you to web expert among your family and friends. And when I first translated, oh my goodness, when I first transitioned into freelancing, it was just right before Thanksgiving. So I went to the Thanksgiving dinner, and I'd come back from a Nashville WordCamp Nashville, and I was wearing, I'm wearing a WordCamp Nashville shirt right now. I'd come back and there was a WordPress logo right here on my shirt. I'd had a hoodie actually unbuttoned, and we're really casual in my family, so a hoodie and unzipped and a t-shirt was fine. So he saw that it was a WordPress. Like, is that WordPress? Do you do anything with WordPress? I was like, yeah, actually, I just transitioned into this. I quit my job, and I told him, and all of a sudden, the entire rest of the day was me setting up that guy's website, trying to work him through Wix and WordPress, and then I just kept getting phone calls and text messages about this and wanting me to check out his website. So that kind of thing is really funny because people know WordPress, people think about it, and if you let out that you know about it, if you start working in this, be prepared. Just like everything else in tech, you're going to be their go-to person. So think about that. I thought it was fun just going through all of it. It's stuff that you'll know how it feels with using all the plugins in the world and trying to find just that perfect theme. Divi. But stuff like that. So I hear my wife must have let the dog in. I hear my dog whining at my door, wanting in. She wants to live stream with you guys. So going into the tutorial section, I want to take just a pause really quick just to say for anyone who is joining in, this is the This Week in WordPress stream. We do this every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and we get together, we talk, and we go through all of the cool stuff that was published this week in WordPress. I'm moving out of the news section and into the tutorials, so I can, we can learn how to do stuff together. The first one that I put in here, I love this one. This is one that I'm telling everybody, go into the description of this video, and if you have any desire to be a PHP developer, if you want to learn PHP or work in PHP at all, I want you to click this first link that is called A Complete Guide to Object-Oriented PHP for WordPress Developers. You need to read this. This will break it down way easier than just about anything that I've seen, starting out with what's an object and what's object-oriented programming, not just object-oriented PHP. So I want you to read this. You really need to know about it, and if you have any desire to be a PHP developer, because it's a really, really fantastic starting point. There's also some on the Elegant Themes blog. I know that we have one, it came up, it was last fall that it was published, that was a list of tutorials and resources that new PHP developers needed to go through, and a lot of those I've gone through myself. So I really think that between that and this one that WP Shout did, you guys are going to get a lot out of. This one that WP Shout did is just phenomenal. I love this one just to get the absolute basics of what you need to do to know what object-oriented PHP is. So that one is great. I see in the comments on YouTube, Video Superhero is asking a timeline on the next Divi update. I haven't heard a date. One of the things, I know what we're working on 3.1, which is the developers update to get a lot more API hooks, a lot more APIs and API hooks, and just lots of stuff for third-party integration into building, I know, Visual Builder modules. So I know that kind of thing is coming. It's a massive undertaking, and Nick has announced that it's going to be the next one. I know that some of the Facebook groups have some some post by him about that. It's gonna be awesome, and it's something that's taking a little bit more time than just being able to have it on the weekly release schedule that we were on there for a while. That is the next one. So it's if you've ever played World of Warcraft, like Blizzard always says, soon TM. It's kind of like that, where it's soon TM, where it's coming, and we don't want to say when it's coming out, because I don't actually know. The developers might, but being on the content team, I do not. True PBX asks if we're looking for beta testers. If you go into, I'm not sure about beta testers, True. I'm going to go in to see if I can find the post, because Nick actually gave an email within the post to send questions, comments, and your plugins and things like that, if you have anything that may be able to be tested, and get involved with it. Let me see if I can find it here, because it is going to be a really, really cool update. We love the community that has sprung up around Divi, and we're really, really excited for this one, because it's going to open up a lot of community development in with the rest of the way that y'all build, that you're going to be able to truly hook into the visual builder and make everything do exactly what you want it to do, where that may not be possible right now, just because from a pure coding standpoint. I found the post in one of them. I'm trying to open it up now to see, and I will share the link to this one. If you're not a Oh, no, I can't. I can't share the link because it's a Facebook group. The email is support@elegantthemes.com. That is where he asked people to, if there's that we'd love to test with as many third-party modules as possible. So if you have anything like that, we'd love to take a look at it, that kind of stuff. So support@elegantthemes.com would be wonderful to be able to test anything out that you've got there. That's where it is. I'm not sure about anything beyond that, True. Moving in, Colombian Hosting asked, what are the Facebook group names? There are so many of them. There is Elegant Marketplace and Divi theme users. There are, honestly, Divi and extra theme users, Divi web developers. The best thing that you can do is go onto Facebook, and this is what I did, I swear, when I was first starting doing this. I typed in Divi and added myself to all of them, and then I typed in Elegant Themes and added myself to those, and some of them have upwards of 30,000 members, so there's a lot of stuff going on in these communities. So y'all should go check that out, unless you have done like Uncle Social did and with hashtag delete Facebook. So I thought that would be it. They're really good communities, and also cool. Nice to meet you, Bill. So we don't have a timeline on the Japanese llama farmers in the Middle East layout pack yet, though. So I'm not sure if that one's on the list for right now. So those are something that I can't honestly say if it's being worked on, because I know it's not. But that is something that is coming. But that's why you haven't had a Divi update in a while, is because this is going to be a fantastic one that we're going to love, you guys. So the next one I wanted to, oh no, I had a typo, sorry. I wanted to talk about was the on the Elegant Themes blog, that I just thought this one was a really cool one because it always comes up. It's an introduction to web building, or link building for your WordPress site. And it's just a tips and tricks kind of what not to do and how to really get good and bad links. It's something just to keep in mind. I love stuff like this because there's always something that we can learn or that we've forgotten to do. It's like, oh yeah, I hadn't thought about doing that. So think about that. Just check it out. And Jason did a great tutorial on how to use text as an abstract design element. And it's awesome. Like what he and Mac are doing lately with the text, and I know last week we had it where they had cut out text as visual elements, and now these abstract texts where they're using it as backgrounds and overlays for images. They're just beautiful. And Jason is really, really blowing me away with these things. Like, not saying that Donyetta's aren't either, because y'all know that what kind of good work she does. But when I saw that one, I was like, I have to talk about that one. It's so great. So this next one in the tutorials, I put in here specifically for Uncle Social. So I need you to go check this out, Unc. I need you to do this. I want you to go look at Kensta's article on how to set up Facebook instant articles with WordPress so that it's like Google AMP, except it's for Facebook. So you can do that, Uncle Social. I want you to be able to do it. But also, for real, it's something that a lot of pages are doing. Whenever you click into Facebook, it opens up in the Facebook browser. And I mean, we still get a lot of traffic from Facebook, even all of the stuff that I'm so sorry. I just saw in the YouTube comments. Once I got through that, it just says, I hate you from Uncle Social. I'm so sorry. That tickled me. But Facebook still, regardless of all of the privacy stuff that's going on, and I mean, I went through and had a couple of hours the other day where I spent before work, honestly, from 6 to 8 a.m. going through and removing access for apps I didn't know that I'd allowed access to my stuff. But regardless of where you fall on it, even if you're as Uncle Social where you don't want anything to do with Facebook right now, I want to say, like, you still get a lot of traffic from Facebook. A lot of revenue from ads and things like that drive traffic, and instant articles really do. These AMP and Facebook instant articles do a lot where they will, I mean, people just don't like to wait. I know that whenever I see that it's an AMP link, and I know it's bad, but I click on it way more than I do something else. And I don't even care about load speed that much. I'm like, oh, that'll load up. I can see what it is and then leave. Everybody does that. So if you're able to do that with Facebook Instant, if you do it with AMP as well, check out Facebook Instant. If you're the kind of person who doesn't use AMP either, no reason to do Facebook Instant. They are pretty much the same thing, but for different platforms. So check that out if you really want to optimize your Facebook article conversion as well. That said, I would like to point out an article that's in the resources section already right here. I'm going to skip just a little bit and show you it is the fourth one down under resources. And it's Torque that did an article that talks about this new algorithm change that came through. It is already in, we are already working with it, and what this new algorithm change for 2018 means for your marketing. This is a really interesting this is a really interesting article that just goes over what we can be doing in the future. We've talked about this a lot here, and just getting you to think about what you are using Facebook for. Because between the privacy arguments and between this algorithm change, we're going to have to be using it differently. There's no way that we're not. So I read an article this weekend, and I don't have a link to it on me, but it was saying that when Mark Zuckerberg went and he made his announcements and all of this about privacy, they're changing the way that they say that they're changing the way that we have access to the information and our privacy controls, which is great. We need that. And one of the things that they said was that they're going to allow you to opt out of them using your information, giving that information to advertisers. That's going to change the way that every one of you markets, because you're not going to be able to do audience the same way. You're not going to be able to build your audiences for your ads and posts the same way, where we're going to have to do different things. We're going to have to approach it differently. And looking at the algorithm, first of all, is one way that we need to really check it out, because they're doing it with making it more personal and engagement. So check that out. It's under resources as well. And also check out the privacy options on Facebook and look up the idea of dark ads. They've changed it a bit, but dark ad posts are really interesting on Facebook as well. And those are a new one to me. So do that. I saw an article or a comment on YouTube here. GPH asks, is Gutenberg going to wreck my site? No. I don't think so. We are working, also what the dev team is working on in addition to 3.1 is the Gutenberg integration. We are looking at how we are going to make sure that your site doesn't get wrecked. The number one thing I think that you need to look at is not updating immediately. And I'm not saying that for Divi. I'm saying that for everything. I'm not updating immediately. So it's something that I'm afraid Gutenberg's going to wreck everything, even though I don't think it's going to wreck everything, if that makes any sense. With Gutenberg, with Divi, we're looking at ways to integrate it right now. The dev team's working on it. We don't quite know how that's going to work yet because Gutenberg's not done. And that is the biggest problem with Gutenberg, is that they are constantly changing things. It's also the best thing about Gutenberg, that they're constantly changing things, but we don't know. But the one thing that we are absolutely dedicated to as a team is making sure that your sites don't get wrecked if you're building with Divi and upgrade and have Gutenberg on there. Even right now, I have Gutenberg installed on my Divi sites, and they're basically just two different things. I can click Classic Editor, and it takes me into the tiny MCE where I can activate the Divi Builder, and I just click Edit, and it takes me into Gutenberg, side by side, where I have gone back and forth and gone between them using the Divi Builder and Gutenberg, and I've had no problem with it. So I'm not saying that you're going to have the same experience, but I was working on a post today where I was just writing, seeing how it went back and forth, and I didn't have any issues. So I hope that you don't either, but we're working on that. We're doing everything we can, everything within our power to make sure it doesn't wreck your site. So there is that. I promise. Can't promise that it won't, but I promise that we're trying. And so moving forward just a little bit more, did the Facebook Instant articles, and one of the how-tos I'm not going to even talk about, but how to optimize your content for smaller screens is one that Torque did. It's really good. You need to be able to know how to optimize your content for small screens. All I'm going to say is that columns don't always stack the way that you think they're going to. You need to learn about Flexbox and grid and make sure that everything moves around like you want it to. So do that. Read that one. And WPMU Dev, this one I want to talk about. That's right below it. It's about midway on how to fully uninstall a WordPress plugin. It's not entirely just clicking a button. Oh, excuse me. That plugins sometimes end up leaving a lot of stuff around, especially like if you use, honestly, like Divi, it will leave plugin shortcodes in there. Some of them store data in your database. You have some of them have extra files and folders that are still around if you uninstall them. So check out the WPMU Dev. Always so hard to say, WPMU Dev article on fully uninstalling a plugin, because there's probably some detritus around your site right now that you can get rid of. And sometimes you can use a plugin for that, and sometimes you can do it by hand without any problem at all. So I see there's been a lot of YouTube comments, that there is an R anti-Facebook on Reddit, that Uncle Social says that it's a lot of articles about how bad Facebook is. And True. Bill asks, does anyone recommend WPMU Dev? I've never used the premium stuff there. I know that people who do have had good stuff, and I know that they're free plugins like Smush, the image smusher. It works really well. So I can only imagine their premiums do too, but I haven't touched any as well. Excuse me. Hi, Jeffrey. Nice to meet you as well. Going through this, I'm sorry it's been a little bit late. I see y'all are doing good. The doing a trial. You're not impressed. Okay. And cool. I'm gonna move forward a little bit. You guys are good. But yeah, WP Smush is good. I haven't seen their premium stuff in terms of the plugins and the tutorials and all that. I know that their content that they put out is always one of my go-tos whenever I need something and I see it. I also wanted to bring up the Flywheel article that I saw. This one's really cool, and this one's one of my favorite things to do. It's just talking about getting creative with 404 pages. It's something that y'all may not think about, and it may be something that you guys do, but you want to have a 404 page that isn't just, sorry, it ain't here, where they can click through at the very least, where it talks to you about making something eye-catching. It talks about making something that will get your users' attention and make them want to stay on your site. And some of the most fun I've had in web design has been coming up with cool 404 pages, because they're kind of like Easter eggs that only certain people are ever going to see on the site. So I actually convinced one of my clients to, actually the first client that I was able to quit my job for, I was able to quit my job because of this client giving me a chance. And I've convinced them on their 404 page to offer a coupon that they gave an exclusive discount for people to take advantage of their services if they found it on their 404 page. They were an event company. So that was something that that using a 404 page isn't usually used for, but it was I thought I came up with it, but I thought it was a really good idea to make people, to apologize for not having a post there where it's supposed to be, or for a bad link or anything like that, where you can offer them like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry that you had to go through this. Here's an extra 10% off. It's something that they said works really well. That it worked. It was fun too. I was able to put like a little banana guy on it, and he was slipping on a banana peel. It was just super fun, and I loved doing that. And I love Easter eggs too. And maybe why I love Ready Player One so much. Which, by the way, y'all go see. I saw it last night and see it in 3D. I don't even like 3D, and it was awesome in 3D, but just do that. Speaking of Easter eggs. But that's something that I like 404s. I like being able to be unique with 404s, so check that out. I've seen authors, and I really need to do this on my side as well. I really need to put up like free ebooks and things like that. Like if they have free novels that you can get on their 404 page that you have to buy it everywhere else, but they have a link on that particular page that may be no indexed or blocked with robots or whatever, or go to a password protected page. However you do it, that will that you just write the password on, that you give away a free ebook copy of your novel or something like that. Basically, like I said, it's like the discount, but an apology. That's a true apology. It's like, here's something I really did mess up. Where those tend to work better. And as y'all know, y'all can see right now, I'm a people person. I want to please. I want to make sure that that everybody's happy and really build a relationship. So that kind of thing, I think, goes a long way. And feel free, you guys, I see people stealing the 404 idea. Please do. Was in the Miva merchant community and the community. And if people get wind of the 404 page with a discount and then share it, it's additional revenue. Yeah, absolutely, Bob. That is absolutely true. That's why I don't think it's a real bad idea, because I mean, I'm the kind of guy who gives my novels away anyway, where I love if you have it, you'll tell your friends if you love it. And that's the way I feel about discounts too, that if somebody's going to come to your site for a 15% discount that they hear about, that's probably somebody who's not already going to buy your product or take advantage of your services otherwise. So it's additional added revenue that goes on. So, Rick, will there be a native modal Divi part instead of installing an extra plugin? What do you mean, Rick? Where like the Divi Builder plugin? Because right now I didn't know this until a while back myself, but you don't have to install the Divi Builder if you have the Divi theme. That the Divi theme and the extra theme already have the builder built into it. So is that what you mean in terms of that? Because if you have the theme installed and you have the Divi Builder plugin installed, you can delete the plugin because it is built natively into the theme. If that's what you mean, then yes. If not, elaborate just a little bit more and I'll do what I can to see. And yeah, okay. And a message was retracted before I got to read all of it. Cyril, the main character in my novels is named Cyril, so that's cool. I like your name. And I also wanted to point out another one that Flywheel did, because I Did I link to it? I lost it now. Yeah. That they did called how to get contents from how to get content from clients on time to keep projects moving. Because if you guys have ever worked with a client who doesn't want to give you any copy or content or images or anything at all, it's really hard to move forward with a project when you don't have the stuff that you need to move forward with a project. So I want you to read this article. It gives you some good tips on really how to deal with this kind of client, and honestly whether or not it's a problem, if you can just adjust your schedule around that kind of thing. Where I'm in the middle of a project right now on the side that I don't have any copy from, and it's on hold right now, and I'm just kind of waiting, and that kind of happens. So we'll see, but I wanted you to know about that. I wanted you to take a look at that just in case you run into that same problem. Rick says a modal pop-up that you click on the button and you get a pop-up. Oh, that I don't know, Rick. I haven't heard anything about that. There might be an option in one of the, depending on what you need and which module it is, right? Oh, the only ones I can't think of any modals, so no, I don't know if anything like that's being worked on right now. I don't think so. And yeah, if it's is there a page for the upcoming page for the upcoming developer hooks that we're working on? No. I don't know what they are. I don't think they've released those even externally outside of the dev team yet. So whenever that goes up, I'll let you guys know because it's a big deal. But I haven't seen or heard anything about it yet. Sorry. What are the best Divi tutorials recommendations, please? Want to learn from people who use it thoroughly. Bill, I think honestly, and again, this is tooting our own horn. Check out our YouTube channel. Mac and Jason and Donietta have some awesome tutorials, and I think that for me personally, the live streams at 3 o'clock Eastern on Tuesdays have taught me a lot about Divi personally. That when we started doing those, I learned a lot about Divi on how they work at just on a basic level, really. That there were things that Jason was doing in his stream that I didn't know Divi did, just even watching and manning the comments. Also, Mac does his at 6 a.m. Eastern on Mondays. That's the next live stream coming up, and he always does a live stream on Divi features and how to get things out of it. So he is really good. It will both stream here on Facebook and YouTube, just right where you are now. So it comes through this exact same channel. So YouTube or Facebook.com/elegant themes. We have just updated, Colombian Hosting says it as I do. We have just updated the Divi documentation as well. So as you're in the visual builder, you can actually click the help button, the question mark, inside the builder, in at least the visual builder, and it will play a video that we have put together of that particular element. So if you want to know how to use the accordion element, you can open it up, click the question mark, and a video will pop up in your screen that way. So if you guys haven't taken advantage of that, Jason did a lot of those. Jason and Nathan really worked hard on getting those together. So it was a big undertaking, and it's crazy that it's directly in the builder now. Those are great. I use a lot of tutorials on Divi Space, Divi Cake, and more than anything, the Facebook groups. It is one of the main things that I use Facebook for. Other than this, I use the Facebook groups for learning about things on web development. The advanced WordPress and intermediate WordPress and beginner WordPress groups, that's their titles. And then, like I said, search for Divi and then search for Elegant Themes. And there are always people teaching and talking about new things that they've done. But those are the ones that I tend to use a lot personally. and I've spoken about this before. Our blog there, Cyril mentioned that the written tutorials are on the blog for all of the videos and stuff like that that goes up on the YouTube and Facebook channels. And I tend to Google things a lot when I need to know. And it's funny how many of them turn up to be on our blog. That it's an Elegant Themes post that I don't realize is an Elegant Themes post. I click through, I'm like, oh, yeah, good. Thanks, Jason, and then go about my business that way. It's interesting to see when that happens. Divi was how to create a contact form on. Oh yeah, that's I don't know. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the full URLs don't work on YouTube. Sorry. And Uncle Social, no, there are a lot of Divi people out there. Like I said, we absolutely love the community on around Divi. So all the other Divi tutorials, I might have watched one today myself. That didn't come from us. But so yeah. So I've got about 10 minutes left. Want to go through and get into the resources part of this. There are really good, a lot of really good tutorials that I didn't get to go through. For anybody who has tuned in since we've been talking and going through this, I'm moving into the resources section. I've already been through the news and the tutorial section, and basically you can go back and watch them at any point after this airs. This will be archived on YouTube and Facebook, and all of the links that I'm talking about are in the description of this video. So make sure that you click on all of them and give the creators some love, because they put a lot of work into doing this so that we can get around and chat for an afternoon. And two of the resources I wanted to point out they're on the Elegant Themes blog, but the reason I wanted to point them out was not because of that. They reminded me of something. We have a couple of use cases and overviews this week that were published on Basecamp and Trello. And I love Basecamp and Trello. I really love these pieces of software, and if you guys aren't using them or haven't used them or used them a long time ago and haven't gone back, check out these two articles or just go log in to Basecamp and Trello and see what's changed. I really love these. Basecamp is one of my favorite pieces of software ever, and I can't get any projects to any of the side projects I'm working on to ever use it with me, but I use it for a lot of personal organization and things like that. So check out the Trello and Basecamp articles. The cool thing is that the use case recommendations that Brenda went through with them, it's super cool. I also wanted to point out this one under resources. This was one of my favorite things I found in a long time that Code NWP did, where it's how to figure out the perfect topic for your next blog. And it's not the perfect topic for your next blog post, but for your next website, that your next overall blog. And this is something I run into a lot because I'm always having new ideas, and it breaks down what you can do to check out just niches, to see what kind of content is already out there, how to come across, like what kind of things are going to make you consistent and able to keep up with it. It's really interesting that it's oh no, I just noticed that something popped on my screen. But no, it's sorry. I really did, something popped up and I got distracted. Y'all know me. But it's really cool to be able to think about a process, because I've been going through this as rebranding one of my personal sites, and I had to do a lot of this, and it's really cool. So check it out. It's neat. I want you to read it. The link pop-up button tutorial. Saying that the link is the pop-up button tutorial. Oh, okay. And wants to know if that will. Oh, okay. I got you, Colombian. I got you, Rick. My brain completely went away from that. I haven't seen anything saying that it is. A lot of times, stuff that we've done tutorials on, like that one, do eventually get integrated into the builder. So some of them have had to been updated like that. I don't know if that's on the docket yet. So as long as there's a tutorial, I don't want to say I wouldn't hold my breath, but I don't think that's in the near future at all. And Kathleen asks, where do I write to if I have problems with a Divi layout and how it looks on your iPhone afterwards? Is it one of the pre-made layouts, things like that, that it came out of the library? The best place would be if it's one of those, it would be either one of the Facebook groups. And I say that not because they're officially run by us, but a lot of us check them and see, and there's a lot of help there. And also the support forums on the members area. So if you go to elegantthemes.com/members-area where you log in, hit the support forums and make a new post there, and the support team will be able to work through the what's up with the layout like that. It tends to be stuff like that. I've seen Nathan and other SJ and Leslie and a bunch of the community around it as well coming into the Facebook groups and helping on the stuff like making the iPhone layouts better, the mobile layouts work a little bit smoother for people. Dave, how do you make a suggestion for a new site for the weekly design initiative? Tell me here and I will see if it's already on the list. I have access to that to see what ideas are there. So I've put in a couple that people were asking for that were really good ideas. So put in just let me know and I'll type it in and check the Trello board. So let me know about that. And let's see. So the 6 minutes, what can I get through? What can I get through? There was a really cool article. I'm not going to even talk about this one, but all the reasons why two-factor authentication isn't always secure. That some of them are pretty, the WPMU dev article goes into a little bit on some pretty far-fetched stuff that may happen to you, but it's good stuff to keep in mind that they're not always 100%, that even if you're having text messages sent to you. So check that out. WP Lift did a fantastic resource on different places that you can, different ways, I guess, that you can add custom CSS to your WordPress stuff, where I was really impressed by this. I actually left a comment on this one myself because they did not mention saying anything about using style inline. It talks about ways of on-queuing style sheets, and it talks about using the customizer and different things like that, and even editing your child theme CSS stuff that you can do and teaches you how to do if you've never done it. But that kind of stuff is what people need to know. I mean, some people don't, I didn't know that the customizer had a custom CSS field in it for a very long time now, and that Divi has a custom CSS box that works exactly the same, that what you change in the customizer changes in the Divi theme options, that you can use the editor in your child theme now that there's a code editor to actually make these changes and have them linted. So it goes through that. Just keep an idea of how to do it. And if you don't know how to unqueue a style sheet from a child theme, read it, teaches you how. So there's another make.wordpress.org, one of the official ones. The roadmap, that is a roadmap tools for the GDPR compliance. We've talked about GDPR a lot. Y'all can go watch past episodes of this as we've talked about it. But there's some new stuff that the official core team has posted up about GDPR. So check it out, and it's something we're all going to have to do. Zillions of hotels and motels by the ocean. Oh, that's a really cool one for motels, hotels, motels. And one thing that would be cool by the ocean also would be like a beach themed Airbnb as well, like a tropical getaway thing. That's pretty cool. That for higher end hotels with restaurants, looking for something for lower end hotels. I don't know of, I did not write an article about that. I thought about it. We were talking about it. No, I ended up doing one about barbershops, I think. But I don't think I've seen one about that. Real estate is coming, Cyril. I know that that's on the list already. I don't know when it's coming because I don't know the release schedule, but I know it's on the list, and I think it might be even briefed right now. I'm not sure. But I know that real estate is on there, and I know that hotel and motel is on there, but it's not so specifically like by the ocean. But I know eventually there will be hotel at least, but it may be toward the higher end. I'm not 100% sure which one it is. And also ISOM, if you're watching, I know that there is an automotive dealership one that I was seeing talked about. So that one is also going to be eventually coming up. So I know that you were asking me about that a few weeks ago, that that one is going to be good for you, I know. I don't know if you're watching on anything because you haven't chimed in today, but wanted to let you know that I thought of you whenever I saw that one was actually being pushed through. So yeah, like I said, I care about you guys. And then the last thing that I wanted to point out on here was it's the third to last one on the resources section. It's the 10 ways to make your next sale. It's a WooCommerce article, and it's something that has worked out really well for us. And the main thing that made me do this was, and we were already talking about this a little bit, was don't be afraid of discounts. That if you offer a discount, that there is a point that you can get to the point where you're offering discounts to the point where it's diminishing returns. But a lot of times offering a discount is actually able to boost your sales overall. So if you're afraid of giving discounts, try it for a little bit. We saw the excitement that people had for our 10-year last week, and that made us really, really, really happy. We have the Black Friday one as well. Everybody goes crazy over them, and I've seen my books, whenever I discount them, the sales go up. I know so many others do, and that's one of the things that they're talking about on WooCommerce is that offering discounts is actually a way to make more money instead of less. And then they talk also about how to use Instagram, and I know some of us have talked about that. I can't remember if it was on the show or not, but using pop-up shops and stuff like that to be able to do it at pop-up events and sell your stuff through your WooCommerce store while still doing it in person. It's just really cool to be able to do this. Like, if you haven't ever tried doing a pop-up store, that's really fun to do. I like it a lot. I have a lot of fun doing that. I know that my partner who writes one of our books with us, with me, we write together. He does not like being out in public shilling books at people like I do. So it's something that takes a very specific personality to do, but you can sell a lot like that and do it online too. So check that out. If you're in e-commerce at all and you have stuff that you want to sell, even if you do services that way, you can sell those by just being at a pop-up shop, selling coupons and gift cards like that. They can then redeem. I do that for ebooks, things like that. Just have a little card with the download code on it. It's cool stuff. Do pop-up shops, check stuff like that out. Try Instagram, all of that. So it's time to go, my friendos, and I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank you all for the fantastic discussion that we've had. It has been wonderful. I'm sorry, Nicholas on Facebook, that you come in, say hello, and just get out of here right as we're leaving. But hopefully you'll be able to watch this, be able to take the time and watch this when it's archived on Facebook and YouTube after this. So, like I said, thank you guys for coming in. I'm hoping that I'll have the streaming software a little bit better for the camera next time, with it spacing, all of that right now. And I just thank you guys. I always have a good time with this. The hour goes by so quickly, and I hope that all of the rain over in the UK gets taken care of, and Britain, all of that, and Scotland, everywhere. I hope that y'all have a wonderfully dry weekend, if that is at all possible. I will see you guys next Friday at the same time at 3 p.m. Eastern. And remember that the next live stream that we have is Mac on Monday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern. And it is going over Divi features. So any of you guys who want to know more about Divi specifically, the next two live streams actually have that. Matt goes over new Divi features and runs through cool stuff on Monday mornings. And then on Tuesday afternoons at 3 p.m., Donyetta or Jason goes through a use case with the new layout for that week. So the Divi Design Initiative, whatever came out that Monday, we do a new tutorial that Tuesday on it. So that's something that if you're wanting to learn about Divi, that's what I was talking about. That taught me a whole lot about it. I learned something every single Tuesday while watching those guys do it. So check those out. I will see you guys next Friday, and maybe in the comments on Twitter or on the blog. Take it easy, guys.